WWE's philosophy in the last year has changed significantly. With Triple H running the show, it's expected that his influence would be felt on the show. Sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's good. What I like most about it is that it's different. At the end of the day, you feel another vibe with Triple H. It's still early days from, but one of the most interesting things done is the influx of babyfaces. WWE's got a very strong selection compared to previous years. It's much more significant now with the way Triple H runs things, but only a couple of years ago, the talent felt a bit limited in their ability to get the crowd behind them. And even when the fans were behind said person, it was only a matter of time before their legs were cut from under them. With Roman Reigns' title reign going the distance, a title reign that's almost unprecedented in this era for certain, WWE is forced to create tough and legitimate challengers for the Tribal Chief. Because you can't have randoms face him, and this is something that's noticeable. Early on in his run, Cesaro was heated up, and it's hard to understand how popular he was because of the Thunderdome thing, but this showed that WWE was capable of elevating talent. Finn Balor for a short time was hyped up, and of course Matt Riddle was the hottest of those three in the time he faced the Tribal Chief. What I'm trying to say is that WWE knows they need credible challengers. Triple H does more of the same nowadays, but also allows for the guys to heat up in different places. That's what's different. The shows, despite at times being repetitive, feel more structured, and the long-term stories allow for the fans to be more invested in said person. It kinda rewards the viewer to see somebody like Sami Zayn emerge from the bloodline as this lovable babyface when not long ago he looked like a desperate bum vying for Roman's attention. They know it's better to wait it out than ruin a story so soon. Sami Zayn could have turned face at Survivor Series, but those extra 2 months added more heat to the story and in turn allowed for him to explode in popularity. Zayn didn't win the title of course, but he's doing great on Raw at the moment. And yes, doing great doesn't just equal being the world champion. Yeah, there's another story that could have happened if he actually won it, but that's another topic. It ain't literally like the Attitude Era, but WWE seems to follow the formula in a way. It reminds me of the time Triple H was the WWF champion and he had Mankind, Kane, The Undertaker, The Rock, The Big Show, and Stone Cold Steve Austin going after him. Roman has 4 or 5 different faces vying for the title. It creates an interesting dynamic. So who are the guys? Basically, I just gotta talk about a couple of the baby faces, why they're over, what it means for WWE, and stuff like that. LA Knight. LA Knight's taken a small opportunity given to him a year ago and made the absolute most out of it. He was a strong highlight of the Uncle Howdy arc, showing his charisma, mic skills, and overall understanding of what a wrestler in WWE should be. Is he limited in the ring? He's very average. Every time I think of LA Knight, I don't really think about his matches. That said, he's really done a lot of work on himself outside of the company before coming in. I remember everyone thought the LA Knight name was strange when he debuted in NXT, and to be honest, it kind of was. But we got used to it. Now, LA Knight is not some insane character that catches your attention and has you thinking, oh, he's so unique, because he's not. He's Rock and Austin mixed up. It's just nobody really cares because he compensates with charisma. He takes on a different role compared to others and puts his own spin on it. The man has the it factor, he's capable of way more, and I'm sure they'll allow him to bring out his very best. Mic-wise, he's one of the best in the WWE, and you can't get there simply being a copy of Rock and Austin. You need talent for that. Do I expect him to be a multi-time world champion? No. The LA Knight has proven he belongs in that upper mid-card / semi-main event position where he's always used and valued. Similar to The Miz and Kevin Owens and all those guys. I think LA Knight has developed, he's done very well for himself, and I think he's going to remain there for the next couple of years. We'll see. Sami Zayn, the underdog from the Undergrounds, enjoyed a very significant year in his career. Sami Zayn's always been that underdog babyface hidden in plain sight. It's just his role as a heel for the last 3 years were very entertaining. He has that skill set where they can place him anywhere and he makes it work. This year though, they finally brought out the true nature of Sami Zayn, a scrappy underdog who refuses to take no for an answer. That push he had earlier in the year was magical. It would have been even more magical had he won, but they had different plans. Nonetheless, Zayn played a strong part in winning the Bloodline, and with Kevin Owens, they captured the tag team titles. He's on Raw nowadays all alone as KO was drafted to SmackDown, but I'm sure he'll continue being valued. 2023 was Zayn's strongest year on the main roster, no doubt about it. As for Kevin Owens, it's business as usual. Kevin Owens in general has always been used well. Could he be champion? Yeah, but those spots are always limited. Nonetheless, KO is busy. There's never a lengthy amount of time where he's out of the equation, especially in the last 2 years. Owens brings a high level of promo and in-ring ability that few in the company could match. He's enjoyed success with Sami Zayn, but unlike the guys here, I personally think it's the end of the line for his face run. I just don't see him continuing as a babyface on SmackDown because of the way things are. Otherwise, you'd have to run another Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns match, despite them feuding multiple times during the title reign. That said, Kevin Owens slots in any role, prospers in said story, and it always repeats. Seth Rollins. It didn't take too long for Seth Rollins to win back the fans in light of his title reign in 2019. This character he's doing right now is very strange. I can't really describe it in a single sentence, and is a far cry from what he represented in the past. He did so well that he didn't need an outright face turn. The fans were singing along his song doing the oh thing, and Rollins finally received that world title. Some say it's a consolation prize, and I'm not going to disagree. It kind of is. And there's a certain vibe around his title reign where it's like, hey, maybe there should have been more to it. Regardless, though, he remains one of WWE's most popular wrestlers. I'm not going to say he's underrated because that's ridiculous. I think he's more underappreciated by others. This isn't a generational run, but Rollins has done well with what he's been given. He's a bit better as a heel, though, and I'm sure by this time next year, he's going to be just that. John Cena. John Cena's back. He's here for a good time, not a long time. And as much as I could dislike this run because of how insignificant it is at times, I can't really do that because at the end of the day, John Cena's here. It's mostly a calm run to remind everyone that Cena's around. That said, there's a strong possibility of him remaining until Survivor Series. Maybe he could feature in War Games. But John Cena really added to the already stacked babyface lineup. He doesn't even need to be in this video. It was already ridiculous to begin with, but then you add a man whose star power exceeds all these men combined. It's no wonder WWE has gained a lot of momentum because they have all of these stories, all these wrestlers getting more and more popular, and then you have John Cena stopping by to visit the show for a bit. It's crazy stuff. I do wish Cena remains, but it just doesn't seem like it's gonna happen. He's busy out in Hollywood, and it kind of cancels out that potential run where he goes all out before leaving. Obviously, John Cena's not at his very best at the moment, but just the mere presence of him is enough to get the fans excited. I do think it's cool that he's around, though. Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare's hype since his return is still ongoing. 2023 in general for him is mostly a transitional year to get 24 strangely. I don't really think anyone expected it to be this way. I imagined him as champion or something. Rhodes has done well to maintain the reactions from the crowd consistency-wise. He's probably the #1 babyface, and other than the fact that they decided to prolong Roman Reigns' title reign, I guess he succeeded. He passes the test. He showed that he could maintain the popularity, the interest from the fans, and I'm sure he'll be rewarded big time next year. Cody brings that good guy aura that hadn't been felt since John Cena became a part-timer. It's a very tough spot to fill because it requires dedication inside and outside the ring. He's a valuable asset, always bringing importance to the stories he's in, and Cody Rhodes is that big babyface they've been missing for a while. That's why, if rumors are true, he's the next challenger at WrestleMania, of course. He's the guy that they've been looking for a bit, and he's going to lead the pack for a couple of years. There's others on the roster that have some fan support recently. Chad Gable's heroic performances and charisma allowed him to connect with the fans and build an even better future. He hadn't been doing much recently, but just allowing him to wrestle has unlocked his true potential. This time around, I think it works well because Chad Gable shows more outside the ring. He's been a pretty entertaining character in the past, but it took a while for WWE to actually do something with him. DIY's back, and by the looks of it, are on their way to capture the tag team titles. Ricochet's continuing doing some very wild stuff. I feel like they've been doing a little more with him recently. But there's one man who I feel benefited from the way WWE goes about things nowadays: Jey Uso. Jey in particular was a part of the deepest story in WWE. The fans were fully invested in him throughout his time in the Bloodline, and it also helped that he played his role very well, being a wounded dog basically. So when he did break free, Jey would emerge as this likable babyface who went against the tyrant. Moving him to Raw is probably one of the best decisions WWE ever did this year, as it allowed for Jey to move on from the Bloodline story and forge his own path. He's been doing very, very well on Raw recently. He's one of the most popular wrestlers in the entire company, which is funny because only a couple of months ago people thought he was just a tag team guy. He has some of the highest selling merch on WWEshop.com, which is crazy because, again, as I said, a lot of people thought he was just a tag team guy, but he's proven them wrong. He's got charisma, he's got in-ring skills, he's got the storytelling. Everything about him aligns well. Jey Uso, I think we all seen a bit of the vision, but it's slowly starting to come to fruition. This guy could be an Intercontinental Champion in the near future, and who knows, maybe he might go for the world title. It sounds strange, it kind of does sound strange, but I'm very, very interested in seeing where he is a year from now because he's really done so much with the short time he's been on Raw for the last month and a half. Jey Uso is probably the biggest example, as I said, of the new emerging babyfaces from this era of WWE. Alright, I just wanted to make this video. I thought it was a nice idea. You guys are the judge of that, of course. You guys get to decide if this is a good idea or not. But I did omit a few people. I don't think I needed to mention them. I just wanted to mention these main guys here. Other than that, WWE's got a lot of momentum recently. If Randy Orton comes back and he's another babyface, it adds a little more. Who knows? He might come back as a heel, but Randy Orton coming back is going to be crazy regardless. Alright, with that said, I just wanted to mention something. So, this wasn't the original video today, of course. I was obviously working on something else. This video is over 20 minutes. I have to work on it. I've been focusing on it for the last couple of days. When I realized I wasn't going to make it on time, I was like, I'm going to do this. So I've been working on videos, obviously. Other than that, the next bonus video is probably related to Drew McIntyre's current character. I might do that later this week. We'll see. But yeah. Alright, what do you guys think of WWE's babyfaces? Please comment down below. And that's it for this video. Make sure you hit the curb stomp on the like button and perhaps the crossroads on the subscribe button. Peace. I'm out.